Matt Olson should be the #1 target for the Braves coming out of the lockout. Looking at the entire landscape of available players either through trade or free agency. And yes, with Freddie Freeman in mind, Braves, give me a chance. I'm going to explain myself. But I think that it should be Olson as the guy for the Braves. In this video, we're going to talk about why. Take a quick look at Olson and talk about how the team would look with him. Be sure to hit that like, Braves fans, if you want your team to make the splash. Just a quick reminder to subscribe if you're new or if you've watched the videos before but haven't subscribed. Make sure to hit that sub button. It'll make it easier to find your way back for future content. And if you like this video and the format, be sure to stay close as we'll be continuing this series over the next couple weeks, going around baseball, highlighting the #1 target for these teams as we come out of the lockout eventually. And check the channel page because depending on when you're watching this video, I may have already done your favorite team. Back to Olson and the Braves. All right, Braves fans, I get it. You want Freddie Freeman. And if you were to ask me what should be the #1 focus a couple of weeks ago, I would have said Freddie Freeman, but I've changed my mind. If you've seen content before, you would have heard me say that first and foremost, the Braves need to get Freddie Freeman, but I've changed my mind. I've come around on this, and it happened during a stream when we were talking. I was talking with the chat, and there was all this talk about Olson and understanding that the prospects have to be given up, but you run the clock back on age over Freddie Freeman, right? Freddie Freeman coming out of his age 31 season, wants that 6-year deal to take him to his late 30s. Matt Olson is in his 20s. Matt Olson has still a high ceiling to go and reach. I think we can all agree Freddie Freeman is really good. He has reached his ceiling. I think, and it's a really high ceiling. It's really good, okay? I'm not discounting anything. But I do believe that Matt Olson might be able to do more from a power perspective. I think this guy's a 40-homer guy year in and year out. And if you're catching him right now at the beginning of that prime age window and you have a couple more years of arbitration so you don't have to shell out the money, and you know Alex Anthopoulos is good in the trade market, it sort of all kind of comes together as why Matt Olson, in my opinion, should be the #1 target over the available free agents, over Freddie Freeman. Let the Dodgers give him that 6-year deal and take him to 38. And let the Dodgers deal with that. The Anthony Rizzo, I think we're looking for how much mileage can we get out of a player, and there's more mileage out of Matt Olson based on age, based on the team-friendly contract. You can do more to surround and continue to advance the team if you have Matt Olson, because you're not going to be as hamstrung financially as you will if you go and give Freddie Freeman the deal. So I think Matt Olson should be the way to go. Let's familiarize ourselves with Matt Olson as if we might not be, but maybe there's some that are not totally familiar with Olson. Let's look at his stats through his career. Again, he is entering his age 28 season. The prime years have just begun with Matt Olson. I take those prime years from 27 to 31, 32. So you are going to have the prime years with Matt Olson. Freddie Freeman is leaving those prime years. Look at that. 39 home runs last year, a 911 OPS, and what he did last year is what he should continue to do moving forward. The batting average, throw away 2020. We are throwing away 2020 for everybody. Whether you did really good or really bad, we're discounting 2020. We're not going to hold it against you as bad if you had a rough year, and we're not going to think you're amazing if you had an incredible 2020. So forget about the 195 in 2020. He bounced right back. 2019, a 267 average, 271 average in 2021. So that is who he is. He is a 900 OPS guy, and it could get better. He's a 39 homer guy, and it could get better, and I think it will. So I really like where Matt Olson could go, and you put him in a lineup. We will take a look at how the Braves lineup could look with Matt Olson in just a minute. You put him in that lineup, and you got Austin Riley hitting behind him. You have Ozzie Albies hitting in front of him. That's going to be a great situation for Matt Olson. In my opinion, I know Oakland, they're not a bunch of slouches, but I don't believe that Matt Olson has had somebody like Ozzie Albies hitting in front of him and somebody like Austin Riley hitting behind him. So you could see, again, more fuel to the fire that you could have a better Matt Olson season with the Atlanta Braves. Now, again, let's talk about why. Why Olson over Freeman? Just kind of want to reiterate it. Again, if you can get the free agent, in most cases I say do that because you can you can prevent losing the prospects and the players on your team. But I like the age. I like the salary situation. I like the ceiling reach potential that Olson still has. Those are the main reasons why I think you can go Olson over Freeman. Now, obviously, the next question is, well, who would the Braves have to give up? And I actually think they have the pieces to do it and continue to be a championship contender, because that's the other thing here, folks. The Braves, and this is another reason why it's Olson over Freeman, the Braves championship window is obviously open. They just won the thing. They want to win it again this year. So if you have your window open right now, let's try to extend the amount of time that's open. And if you get a younger player like Olson, I think you're doing better. You're doing better. But let's talk about the players they can give up, because, again, I think they can give up players, and I believe that the players they give up will not impact them at all in terms of trying to still be in that championship contender spotlight. So let's look at the trade pieces. You could deal William Contreras. I have highlighted these 6. William Contreras, Huascar Ynoa, Drew Waters, Christian Pache, Tucker Davidson, Spencer Strider. Not these 6. I'm not saying these 6 players for Matt Olson. Okay, let's be clear about that. These are the trade pieces that you could include in a trade. You could do Contreras, Waters, Davidson. Now, who are Davidson and Strider? Davidson and Strider, those are your number 2. Davidson, the number 2 left-handed pitcher in the system. Strider, number 2 right-handed pitcher in the system. So you have prospects. Both are sort of in that 5 to 15 range, depending on where you look. If you're looking at MLB.com or Baseball America, they're sort of in that 5 to 15 range, Davidson and Strider. So I like putting together a package of, again, either Contreras, Waters, or Davidson, or you go Ynoa, Pache, and Strider, or let's say the A's want more. I think you could put together a package of Contreras, Ynoa, Waters, or Pache, right? One of those 2. And then either Davidson or Strider, one of those 2. So you could take the 2 players that you've already seen in the big leagues. You take one of the top high-profile prospects, Waiters or Pache, and then you have Davidson or Strider. I think the Braves have the pieces to get this done. And again, if those are the players that are going away, those are not any of the players that were major contributors to the World Series run. So I think you can do this trade. I think the team will get better. I do not think it prevents the team from keeping that window open 5 years down the road when you need prospects to still be coming up. They still will have a ton of prospects in the organization if that is the way that they go. So I love how that all comes together for the Braves. Now let's take a look at how the Braves could look, how that lineup could look with Matt Olson in it. Acuna leading off. Albies batting second. Olson third. Then we go Riley and Duvall 4-5. Ozuna, we know he's back. He's 6. Darno 7. Swanson 8. And Pache 9. Now, if Pache is included in the deal, then we'll have Waters 9. And there's always still the chance that the Atlanta Braves could go and get Matt Olson done. And then because of the money that they save, only having to pay arbitration for Olson and not the big 9-figure salary for Freeman, they have money to go out and get Soler back or Rosario back, and there is your third outfielder. So there's another reason why I'd like Matt Olson to be the target and not Freddie Freeman. Again, I know I'm going upstream here. Braves fans, he is a fan favorite. I am sorry. I'm not emotionally connected to the Braves. I like the team. You have one of my favorite alternate jerseys. Some of my favorite players are on that team, but I am not emotionally connected as a Braves fan. So I see the move is to cut ties with Freddie Freeman again. But you have to get Matt Olson. If they are not going to trade for Matt Olson, then they have to get Freddie Freeman. I'll add that caveat in there, okay? They have to have that impact lefty bat, and I think Matt Olson could give that to them. And if they have their choice, if Anthopoulos can choose between one of the two, I think it's Matt Olson. All right, let me know what I'm afraid to say this, but let me know what you think. You probably think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I say this time and time again. We can disagree here on the channel. That's absolutely fine. I appreciate you spending some time with the channel. I really do. I will add some links to some of the other offseason content. Make sure to subscribe if you're new and hit that like if you want baseball to get this lockout done and get things going. Maybe by the time you're watching this, the lockout is over. Who knows? All right, again, thank you very much. I'll add those links now for you to check out some of the other #1 target content. Again, appreciate you spending some time with the channel. Ballcap Nation, I salute you, and thank you for watching the video.